Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast are my co-hosts, Rebellious D and Trav, the Trash Man Martin. How you fellas doing today?
Good.
Ready to rock.
Hey, it's good to see you guys as always. And joining us on today's episode, or interview that is Miss Kausar Mohammed. How are you doing today, Kausar?
What's up? Happy to be here.
Hey, it is so awesome having you up here. And, I'm really excited. I told Trav and D about this because The Great Pretender, it was one of my favorite animes that I watched last year. And, I told D about it as soon as I started watching it. And then Trav, he finally started watching it. And, just to be able to have a podcast where we're able to talk with the cast of the show, like it's an awesome feeling, and just to talk about you guys' careers and whatnot. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on and the support for the show. I'm also just really excited about how the team pulled it together and the way it looks. So just a big shout out to the team that made it happen. And yeah, just happy to be a part of it.
Well, we're going to get to talking about The Great Pretender. We're going to be talking about a bunch of other stuff that you've done. And before we get into that, everybody that's watching, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.
Podcast in the description. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So, Kausar, something that we do here with all of our guests is we ask, what is your origin story? Every hero or villain has one. So tell everybody who you are.
Okay, I hope I'm a villain. I would love to be a villain.
I like that.
But I'm not.
Uh-oh.
Right, no, I'm not. Whenever I test, I land up in Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw, not Slytherin. But that's its own thing. Origin story. So I grew up in the Bay Area, so like Northern California. And then I just was doing a lot of like goofy theater stuff growing up, but I didn't know what it was then. I would just be like making music videos with my friends or like putting on sketches for people with no one to watch, or like performing outside of a library, aka just like singing outside of a library. And then that kind of grew to being involved with theater in high school and middle school, and just really loved being able to make people laugh and like what we could do with being on stage. Went to college, thought I could get out of it and do like a traditional career path. Didn't work, got suckered back into acting and comedy and theater when I joined my college's sort of like sketch group. And then that was it. It was like, okay, because I didn't really know what sketch was before. There was no name to it. Like I didn't grow up watching Saturday Night Live. Didn't know even that existed. But then once there was a name to what I had been doing, which was sketch, it was like, oh, okay, this is everything. And here I am.
Awesome.
Here you are.
Awesome.
Here we are, right here.
Here we are.
Yeah, I like that. We've had a couple of, people who have done sketch and improv before here on the podcast. Now, when it comes to doing sketch, because I've seen some of your videos on YouTube, like, what is the fundamentals that go into doing everything? Like, are you somebody that, it just pops up into your head and you ad-lib it? Or are you somebody that, needs to rehearse what you want to do?
Yeah, there are some folks who are so funny and are just like naturally that funny, and they just walk up onto set or into the voice booth and are like, bam, 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 bam. I'm like, you are the wittiest person ever. I'm a huge planner. So I like, even when it comes to voiceover or even my character stuff, I get super heady about it. So I'll like write every possible button, alternates to every line and ways to do it, and then have to do it a million times. But even when it comes to voiceover stuff, like before I walk into a booth, especially if it's animation, I try to have like my alts ready of like, okay, how would I do this in every possible way? It's the type A. It's the Ravenclaw in me. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Harry Potter references, even though I still haven't seen Harry Potter. And these
This
guys,
guy.
they
Yeah.
get on. Yeah,
You heard
Why
correct.
not?
Hey, if you want to leave, you know,
Put 'em on
you're
the
more than
spot.
welcome.
I gotta go. I'll talk to y'all later.
It comes on USA and Sci-Fi like every day.
Yeah. don't let him leave. Hit him with that Avada Kedavra and send him where he needs to go.
No, I mean
Get him
it's
outta
something. It's something that's definitely on my list of things to watch. But
Their
it's
bucket
like,
list.
You gotta watch it. It's so good.
hey, it's my list is long.
Trash, right?
Because it should be at the
Hey,
top of the list. That's like, okay, but I can't even talk because there's certain things I just haven't seen that everyone else has seen. So
Okay, well, since we're here now, give us a couple of them.
Yeah.
Give me one that's like, how have you not seen this by now?
okay, this is the one.
Uh-oh.
I haven't properly watched Game of Thrones ever.
I
Like,
haven't either, so you're good.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
This guy's list is a lot longer. Is there anything
Yeah,
else?
yeah.
Game of Thrones is great, though. I will.
also
tell
you had to pay for Game of Thrones,
Yes.
right? It won't like a free thing.
yeah,
I
yeah.
know
True.
people who ain't seen like Home Alone. Like, how have you not seen Home Alone?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
know
the
people
one.
who haven't seen The Lost Boys, or
I haven't seen the last.
yeah, that's a
just
good one.
watched
Put
it.
it on your list.
But now I
There
know.
you go.
Put it on your
All
list.
right, now I know.
Yep.
What else? Star Trek. I've never seen Star Trek.
Trekkies will go after you, but you know it's to each their own. I think that's one that's kind of like an acquired taste. I will say,
Mm.
Star Trek is not for everybody.
Well, because it's a genre,
Yes.
right? It's not.
Right.
But
All
I
the
mean,
Trekkies out there.
everybody got to watch The Breakfast Club, though. There's no excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta see
No-
The Breakfast Club.
Hey,
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
next
everybody's
thing
gotta
you know-
watch it.
I know Trav about to bring out that Clueless,
That Clueless.
maybe that Groundhog's Day.
That Groundhog's Day.
Caddyshack, the
Uh,
originals. But I mean, you know, since we're talking about old movies, you know, you're currently on Jurassic Park Camp. What is it? Camp Cretaceous?
Yeah, Camp Cretaceous. Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Camp Cretaceous. Sorry, I'm.
And that's a big
No,
word
you're
for
fine.
Banks, so
Yeah,
I'm
that
proud
is
of
a
you,
big word
buddy.
for me. I don't.
I
use
still
big
say Camp Crustaceous, like the crab. It's not. I mess it up, so you're good.
But-
Camp Crustaceous.
So, like, how was it? You know, being on that show. Like, were you a fan of Jurassic Park growing up?
Yeah, huge fan of Jurassic Park and also dinosaurs. I think more like when I grew up, when I was younger, I wanted to be like a paleontologist when I grew up. I don't even know how I knew what a paleontologist was. So it was just like dinosaurs. Yeah, that's my thing. I'm pretty sure like one career day I like showed up. There was like one where I like wore these like cargo pants and a magnifying glass, and I was a paleontologist.
But did you have the raptor claw? And did you scare some kid? You were-
No, but I should have. It was a weak costume. That's what it truly was. Everyone was like, "What are you?" And I was like, "I'm a paleontologist." So yeah, just like really loved dinosaurs growing up, and even like into adulthood, just like really like dinosaurs. And Jurassic Park too was, you know, it was Jurassic Park. It was so formative. But when I was started doing the show, I didn't really know the full capacity of like what it was, you know, because everything sort of has its code name. So I was just like, oh, okay, cool, a show, da 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 da, and I was like, like I think like after having recorded the pilot, I was like, oh, this is not just any camp. This is a Jurassic Park camp. So that was really fun too, and just to see over the series how they tied it into the actual canon. Like, I had no idea that was going to happen. So in that way too, it just continuously felt more and more special, and I've felt so much love for that show, and also the whole team on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jurassic Park. It's always been one of those things. Like, it'll always have a fond memory, you know, in my
Called a
mind
cult
because-
classic, sir.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely a cult classic. And
Right.
you know, my uncle, he took me to go see that movie when I was a kid, and I was afraid because of the dinosaurs and whatnot. And I remember they was doing construction out my grandparents' neighborhood,
Yeah.
and like it was a bunch of loud noises and whatnot. And you know, I really thought that there were dinosaurs in my grandparents' neighborhood. So, like, I mean, these guys can tell you, it's just like I scare easily, you know.
Easy.
so
Easy.
it's it was just why, and like my grandma, like she just kept on asking me like, why was I hiding behind the bed? And I'm just like, because the T-Rex gonna come and get. I mean, because you saw what the T-Rex did to the guy in the car, like.
Yeah, but I know this. He did not sound like construction work. I know this, so
That's right.
Bro, it was loud noises and it was going on for a week. Like I was afraid to go outside, bro. I was afraid to go in the backyard because I literally thought that I was gonna get eaten by a dinosaur, man.
It's so sad.
It is sad.
It's sad. Look at this.
It's just,
it's like it's real though, because it's like I think as a kid, I think so many kids have a fascination with dinosaurs because it's like this thing that is so big and so monstrous, and like they also actually existed. It's like every kid knows a unicorn / mermaid. Like there's like a 50% chance of those actually existing. But dinosaurs, those are fact.
Yep, exactly, man. And it's just so many things. Like when you're a child and like your imagination, because I remember like whenever there used to be a thunderstorm outside, I used to hide underneath the table because I used to think that the lightning was going to come through the house and get me.
This guy.
I mean,
all I can say about Jurassic Park is I'm gonna run you over when I come back down here. My man Dennis was holding it down.
So let's talk about what was it when you first got into acting? Like, what was your first acting gig like?
So my first acting gig was 8th grade, Aladdin. Okay, I played the guard.
Top 5 Disney movie right there.
Yeah, Top 5 Disney. So like, I guess. And do you mean sort of maybe like TV, film, or voice acting sort of thing?
Yeah, like TV, film, acting, and then we can get into voice acting.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think like it's hard to say the first. I'm sure the first like TV thing was like probably like a random co-star. It was a co-star on Game Shakers on Nickelodeon.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was my first one ever, and I was in Toronto at that time with my mom and my sister, and I had to like leave early to come back to shoot this co-star, and it was like shoot. But also like yay, my first co-star. I think getting the first one is just always the hardest thing in terms of TV credits. So thank you, Bullock and Snowcasting, who took a chance on me. And so I think that was the first thing. But I think when I first graduated, I hadn't joined the union yet. So I have to credit a lot of my sort of like early work to BuzzFeed opportunities, because they were and the team at BuzzFeed, because they were doing so many shorts at that time, sketches at that time, or branded content. So while it was harder to book anything sort of outside of that because it was normally SAG or bigger, BuzzFeed did a good job of paying for what felt like, like excuse me, like paying for non-union work at that time and doing funny stuff with like good, talented people. So, and one of the people I met on a BuzzFeed, like a couple of the people I've met on BuzzFeed sets are people who are like doing big stuff today and that I still sort of stay in touch with today. So, was very grateful for that because it gave me enough content to make my own reel. And then, from the reel, sort of like worked my way up, started doing more stuff. A big thing along the way was creating my own content, because feeling like, like I think also, being who I am, like it was also like, okay, like what roles am I going to be able to find for myself? And so having to write some of those roles and then finding good people to collaborate with along the way, my sketch team, my South Asian sketch comedy team, my friends, so all those things.
Awesome. So
yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah,
so
pretty bad.
To piggyback off of what you had said, because like I remember like seeing like the BuzzFeed videos. I mean, you can even say Vine or the early like YouTube video, like where people were making shorts and whatnot, and to just see how far like everybody has come, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's just like that stuff, like it puts you out there, and especially if you're in these videos all the time, like people, they start putting the face to who you are. They may not know what your name is, but it's just like, oh, I've seen that person before, you know what I'm saying? So it's awesome to, get that starting there and then kind of catapult into where you are right now in your career. Now, to take it to voice acting, I saw that the first thing that you did was animated me and Trav. We really enjoyed it. It was Cannon Busters. And
Cannon Busters.
I remember when we first started the podcast, you know, because I'm a huge fan of Ken Michael, and like I was just like, yo, Ken Michael's on Cannon Buster, so let's reach out to Ken Michael, and we had him come up here on the podcast. He voiced Philly the Kid up there, and then when, you know, I reached out to you, and I was just like, oh snap, like she was on Cannon Busters too, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that was your first voice acting in anime. So like, how was that?
So yeah, so for Cannon Busters, I think there might have been. It's hard to know the order also, because it's like you record something and then it might not come out until like 3 years later, versus anime does come out a little bit faster when it comes to dubbing. But Cannon Busters was my first dubbing anime dubbing project, and they're the same as the ones for The Great Pretender and YAV Post. So it's like Stephanie and Michael and more Michaels over. There's another Michael too over there, and I just like they're so excellent. Like they really get into the art of it and just getting very specific about the delivery of it and the intention of it. So in that, it was, and also the delivery and the intention, but also like what else could be brought to it with this new voice that's doing it, you know? So whether it was Manic, which was so, I think that's also one of my funnest roles ever, because it was like super inspired by like Harley Quinn for it and stuff.
Yeah.
But I could probably never, I mean, traditionally and historically, a Pakistani woman is not going to be, you know, blonde Harley Quinn. But in voiceover, it's different, you know?
Right.
So the freedom with that was really awesome and was so much fun. And one of my recording sessions, LaShawn Thomas was there, and being able to chat with him about it and just to like connect on this very real, like, love of seeing people of color in anime was really lovely and rewarding too. So I'm super, super proud to have been a part of all of NYAV's projects. Or those two. Not all of them. I'm not part of all of them. There's just two.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Like with Cannon Busters, you know, one of the things that we had said when we were interviewing Ken was that, you know, the people of color on the show, it's just like they just feel like they're normal people, like they weren't stereotypes or anything like that. And when it comes to seeing people of color in anime, you really don't have a lot of representation. So it was cool and refreshing to have a series come out like that, where it's just like, you know, it was just normal people, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And, you know, that's something that we're still hoping that we get a season 2 of, because you know, season 1, it just ended on a cliffhanger, and you already know how Netflix is when it comes to, you know, anime, TV shows, movies,
renewals.
Yeah, it's just like something can be a banger, and then it's just like we never
flip a coin.
Yeah,
yeah.
So, like,
I don't understand the algorithm.
Hey, my take on that is, I know LaShawn Thomas has a really good relationship with Netflix, so it could just be something too where he's just kind of busy doing other stuff and just can't do it right now, but maybe they've had discussions about picking it back up a year or two from now or something.
Now,
so hope for that.
Cannon Busters season 1 was what year?
2016?
19?
2019.
It was
was it 2019?
Yeah,
okay, so
man, 2020 was so long.
It could have something. That's what I'm getting at. It could have something to do with the pandemic because of all the movie shootings and stuff, and people having to switch to shooting or recording from home and stuff like that. So it could just be. It could have just be when season 1 came out, realistically,
or other projects. I mean, because I know.
Well, that too, but I mean,
he
it's
had
just
Yasuke.
like
That came out this year.
The pandemic falling right in between, you know, his ideas for season 2 and things like that. It could just be that, man.
I agree.
Yep. So when
I have no idea. It's like, you know, it's like we never know. We never know.
Nobody knows.
All I know is I need more of it. That's all I know, you know?
So something that I wanted to bring up, because this is one of Dee's favorite shows, Black Lightning. You were up there.
Yeah. I shot that. That was also, that feels like a while ago. I think that was also 2019.
Yeah.
I think I shot that in 2019.
For the streets?
Black Lightning Streets.
There we go.
God, this guy loves this stuff. Ugh.
Yeah, that was lovely. Yeah, working with Nafisa Williams was so awesome. She's amazing and so kind, and also having the queer representation on the show and the queer POC representation on the show. So I was also so excited to be on that show. it was for one episode, but I really, really enjoyed my time on there, and everybody was really lovely and got to play a lot within that. So was a big fan. Yeah.
So like, I want to ask you, so are you into like comic book characters and stuff like that?
You know, I am not so much, but I fully I wish I was, because I understand the beauty and the art of it. I think the comic books that I own are the Miss Marvel, like some of the Miss Marvel ones. Because Pakistani Muslim. Right. But other than that, I don't really know all of it. But I feel like if I were to, I would get like obsessive and then just go too deep. Yeah. So it's like something I'm like, let me keep it at bay so I don't completely lose my social life. Otherwise, I'd get too deep because I get obsessive about stuff.
Yep.
That's what happens to your boy.
Are you looking forward to the live action show that's coming out on Disney Plus?
I cannot wait for it. I'm so excited. One of my really good friends plays the brother on that show.
Oh, nice.
Sagar Sheikh. Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
I think it's going to be so important. I am excited that it's Marvel, because I feel like everything that Marvel's been doing has been like very intentional and giving a lot of depth to the story. So I'm so interested in how they're going to tell the story. Just saw Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I was butchering the name last night too.
I'm gonna practice it. Yeah, I saw it yesterday, so I need like a day or two to practice it, how to say it. But so good, and I feel like it's like that's what happens when we're able to tell stories in a different way, and we allow a lot other people to tell those stories. Who's directing it, who's writing it. So in that way, I'm really, really excited about Miss Marvel live action, and I think it's going to be such an important one.
Yeah. Now, something I wanted to touch on was, how earlier you had mentioned, the representation for the queer community and people of color. And I do think that it's awesome that, and all of these projects that are coming out now, whether it be DC or Marvel, like there's representation for everybody out there compared to, when we were growing up, you really didn't see that much of it. And, I like how you said with Shang-Chi, when me and Trav, when we went to watch it the other day, I was just like, bro, like this film is beautiful. I put it on the same level as Black Panther with just the visuals and the music and the action. Like, it's a really good film, and everybody that's watching or listening to this, if you haven't seen it, like, you need to go and watch it, because it's really
right now. Right now.
If you can't go to the theaters and watch it, you can always wait for it to come out, and then when it comes out on digital or Disney Plus or whatever, watch it, because like it's stunning. Like, it's really good.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm usually like someone who, like, in the middle of action scenes, like I just get bored because I'm just like, okay, people fighting, whatever. But they were so good and so riveting, and the acting, everybody's acting is amazing. The storyline like only gets better throughout the movie, which I can't say that about a lot of movies. It's like every storyline point in that I'm just like, yes, it just gets even deeper, So I think in those ways, never a dull moment. And so I just like, yes. Also, female director. So only thing I say is like watch it, because I think the other thing is, yes, all this representation, which is amazing, and then we have to show up on the other end to be like, that's what we care about, Right. So yes, and I think the sales matter, how immediately we watch and stream and click, those things matter. So doing it as soon as we can, and it's just, it makes a difference, because at the end of the day, it's how we show up and let people know that's what we want.
I definitely think. Go, Trav.
No, I was going to say this thing's projected to make about 80 million by the end of the weekend. So, like you just said, if people want it, you got to show up, because the studios aren't going to do it if they don't make money. It just, as crummy as that sounds, at the end of the day, the studios are not going to continue to do it if they don't profit off of it. So you got to show up and, put in your money towards it so you can keep that trend going.
Yeah. So I think like, it's like there's more on the line too, when it comes to like something that we're not like, again, like I don't even think Shang-Chi. So how do I say it, Benjamin? You say it right.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
I'm gonna remember that now. Shang-Chi. I feel like it's not even about it being like an Asian superhero movie. It's just so good, you know? Yeah. And then it's just like, but the stakes are that if numbers don't go above and beyond, like Trav was saying, the stakes are, it was a Asian superhero movie gone wrong, you know? So, a
lot of times you just get one shot too. Yeah. They get one chance.
We get one chance.
Because Kevin Feige always
Feige.
He had came out and he had said something like, this is like they're taking a chance or something like that, and this offended the actors and actresses that were in the movie, because it's just like, no, like it's like you aren't taking a chance. Like, this is a Marvel movie. It's just like it's going to be a good film.
It's going to be fine. Yeah.
I just think that Marvel as a company, they do such a good job with everything across the board, from production standpoints to diversity. You know, touching on all the issues and getting other races spotlight. I don't know what he was worried about, to be honest. And it's just like, when it going back to the fight scenes, it's like visually they keep you there. They do a little bit more in movies like a Doctor Strange or this one or Black Panther. It's not just straight choreographics. It's like they do a good job of blending physical and like mental. Like, you know, give you a lot to look at, you know.
I think what he meant from that comment was he probably had to fight the board to get these kind of movies made. I don't think he meant anything like that. I think he was saying he fought to get these movies, and you know, again, people got to show up and put money in so they can continue to make those kind of movies.
Yeah, but unfortunately, because it is a pandemic too, like a lot of people still aren't going to the movies. So it's like, I understand why, you know, they wanted to release some of their movies on Disney Plus, but at the same time, because of like the contracts and all of that stuff, it's like, you know, you can't, like, everybody want to get paid at the end of the day.
But the thing too,
and that's the reason why, you know, you got the whole thing now with Scarlett Johansson and Disney, because of the sales between Disney Plus and the movie theater sales, you know. So,
well, I just want to piggyback off what you're saying, Banks. Also, the other standpoint is, because of the pandemic, a lot of movie theaters have been shut down and stuff.
That's true too.
So it's like people can only go with, you know, if it's not available to you or convenient, some people just won't go. On top of, you know, having to wear a mask and things like that. So
and
it just kind of sucks right now.
They hit you with another piggyback. It's like the movie theaters that are still open. You know, you have people that's just like, I'm not driving 2 hours just to go to a movie theater.
Yeah, exactly. Which it's not crazy to think about, you know. It just kind of sucks, you know. Just to piggyback off of what you're saying.
Oh, hey, we the combo breaker.
Combo breaker. And
to piggyback off of that, okay,
we're at capacity.
Right. I feel like it's an interesting thing too, because like, I don't know, it's just a funny time for content and movies and film, because at the same time, like, you know, it's like, what, I don't know. It's like, you know, some theaters are filled to capacity, which is like, okay, should we be having that right now? Versus, you know, like the ones that aren't necessarily. And it's also like, there's such a demand for content, but also that, I think that's why animation and voice and all that, like all animated and anime stuff is bigger right now, because you can do it without. And also just the amount of people, I'm thinking of from like an actor's perspective, it's like, you know, like having the big screen release is big, and I think also brings in more money. But also for Scarlett Johansson, it's like that demand also, it's like, and I don't know the ins and outs of it, but it's also like, it was that one that blew up, right? We all heard about that.
Right.
But it like, is that because she's a woman? You know, like what a man who made the same demand.
It probably happens all the time, that situation.
So it's just like all these factors, and I think at the end of the day, it's just like, we're in a wild time, y'all, and content is all the more a part of daily life, because I feel like we depend on it in a different way.
Now, something too, I wanted to piggyback off of what you had said. Dang, this is another piggyback. Was earlier when you were saying about you know, how you have, you know, female directors and like they're doing big things. Because Candyman came out back in, was it September or was it August? I think it was like the end of August.
It was the end of August.
And Nia DaCosta, like she became the first black female director to make a film that blew up and like made a bunch of money. And it's just like everybody on social media, it's like, they keep on saying, oh, it's a Jordan Peele film. And I'm just like, yo, Jordan Peele, he produced it. You got to put some respect on my woman's name. You know what I'm saying? Because like she killed it. It was a really good movie. Did you have the chance to see it? Or are you into horror movies?
I am obsessed. That's another downward that's like a spiral thing. Like once I get started, I can't stop. Love
Everything is going according to plan.
Love horror. Yes. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it. I wanted to watch it in theaters, so because that's my thing. I love watching horror in theaters. So like I haven't gotten to yet. But I watched the original Candyman this weekend in preparation, movie. So I'm trying to get through that and then I'll go watch it. But yeah, I'm so interested and so excited to see what they do with it, because also it's like
it's so good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Quick side note, before I forget this little fact, the scene where Tony Todd in the original has the bees in his mouth?
Yeah,
he actually did that, and he got paid $1,000 for every bee that stung him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he got stung, I think it was 23
times.
Yep. 23 times.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And he's still living off that money, just to let y'all know.
No question. He's Tony Todd, bro. I'm pretty sure he's... Yes.
Question for y'all. Would you do that? $1,000, bees in your mouth?
I'm not scared of bees and I'm not allergic, so...
Yeah. I've been stung before, so as long as it's not a water bug, I'm good.
That's like a year's salary for a lot of people. So...
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's strange, too, because bees aren't... I guess they're in some kind of way like venomous, but it's like the effects aren't like crazy.
I've never been stung by a bee.
I have.
Unless it's my girl, then it is dangerous.
Yes, that's my understanding of bee stings. Okay,
Macaulay, get out of there!
No,
he took all the crit damage. He took all the crit damage.
Now, just to let you guys know, I've only seen like the first 30 minutes of.
We know, and we know, and we got you.
I didn't get to that part either, but it's good. I'm gonna appreciate it all the more once I get to it.
It's sad. I'm telling
you. Does he return in My Girl too?
Yes, they use a phoenix down.
Phoenix down.
Yeah, they bring him back to life. Okay, nice.
Yes,
there we go.
The moon ring had powers.
So to take it back to voice acting, I wanted to touch on that you were in Rage 2 and Gears 5. So like, how was it lending your voice to the video game world?
Yeah, video games are so fun. I feel like they're fun and they're also hard work. And especially like this, it's a lot of voice efforts. It's a lot of like, okay, now make a sound of as if you're rolling off a cliff, and then you go through a fire pit, and then at the end of the fire pit, you fall into an ocean, and then you choke to death. It's like what? But video games are super fun. I think in all my video game experiences, it's just fun to contribute to that world, because it's such a specific world and such a specific means of storytelling, it's always fun when the person's like, okay, so like this is the world and they're doing this, so like how do you want to create this character who lives in this thing where a bunch of zombies have just killed everyone, so the storytelling of video game is something I'm still like really learning about, because I don't play a lot of video games, but I'm also like through voiceover I'm like, wow, it's a whole world.
Because it's fun because you lend your voice to these different medias. It's like you're automatically kind of connected to everything,
right?
Which is interesting. Like even if you're just watching playthroughs, you're kind of connected to see what you're getting yourself into.
It's cool, and it's just like I just think about just like how storytelling is such a big part of everything. So in that way, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're also talking about a huge franchise like Gears of War.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then 3. And then I mean Rage 2, being published by how do you say it? They do Elder Scrolls and stuff. Bethesda.
Yes.
Dude, I mean these are huge video game publishing companies. You know what I mean? So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So kind of to take it back to cartoons and whatnot, and representation for people of color, and the queer community, you were on Craig of the Creek, which is a show that we all love here. Like,
incredible show.
When we watch Craig of the Creek, it's one of those things where it's just like, man, like I remember I used to do this stuff when I was a kid. So like, how was it working on that show?
Yeah, it was so much fun. I get to play Amina, this Muslim character. But it's just like so fun. I love it when we don't have to talk about like identity. Like, the person when the person who's historically not represented on screen gets to be on screen and have other character quirks other than like what their identity is, right? Because I think that's where it's at now. And it's just so much fun. The entire team is so open, so playful. Just like open to play. So whenever I've gone in for sessions for that, it just feels really just collaborative and fun.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's just one of those shows where it's like when you watch it, it feels real, if that makes any sense. Because you watch a lot of cartoons and it's just like you can watch it and it's just like, okay, like this just feels like a cartoon world. Whereas when you watch Craig of the Creek, like all of this stuff could really happen in real life. Like, these real life experiences that you see on the show. Like one of the episodes you were on, it was the one with the monster, like the creature from the Black Lagoon. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's just like, like I said, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the dinosaurs going to come in the house and kill me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything.
So it's like, what I'm saying? Like, imagine if somebody came to the door and they was dressed up like a raptor. I would have thought it was my life was over. Like that's what would have happened.
So were you scared of clowns growing up, Banks?
No, but that's funny that people are afraid of clowns. Now, not to joke people who are afraid of clowns, but like there are people out there that are afraid of clowns, and
I'm surprised. That surprises me.
Well, I don't think there's a lot of people our age or maybe younger who are afraid of clowns, because clowns nowadays are nowhere near as creepy looking as those clowns from the 70s and 80s.
Those were terrifying.
Those are terrifying looking clowns. Like, who wanted that at their birthday party?
Yeah, remember what was the show that used
Bozo?
Bobo? Bozo. Yeah, man. Super creepy guy.
Well, growing up, I feel like the reason why I wasn't afraid of clowns, because growing up in the Black community, we had Homie the Clown, and Homie the Clown, like he won't really, he won't play that. Joke. Homie don't play that. It's like I wanted to meet Homie the Clown, and I had one of the what are they called? Like the stuffed dolls.
Did he have action figures?
Yeah, my uncle had bought one for me, but I used to beat him up because on A Living Color, he used to always beat people up. So I really wish that I did not beat that doll up, because I'm pretty sure that thing would have been worth a lot of money today.
For sure.
And maybe it's down there in up there in Grandma's attic, like you claim everything else is.
Hey, real talk though, for real. Like my grandma has like this giant 6-foot Easter bunny in a suit, and
oh my god!
And D, that day it was Easter. I was gonna bring that bunny over to your house too, man, to scare the kids. And it's just like we used to beat that bunny up too, man, because it's just like who has a 6-foot bunny? Who has one? Like it doesn't make any sense at all. But to take it to calm it down.
Get fired up over here.
Yes, he is.
Love it.
I'm gonna leave grandma alone.
Hey, look, I'm dressed. It's Sunday. I'm dressed in my Sunday best, like I'm at church. But I wanted to bring up too, like you were in What Men Want, and you were working with Taraji P. Henson, Tracy Morgan. Like that movie, like it was crammed with like a bunch of stars and whatnot. Like, how was it working in that film? Because I went to go see it on Valentine's Day when it came out, and it was awesome.
Yeah, Taraji P. Henson is the sweetest thing ever. She's so sweet. Super kind, super funny. Seeing her work was really amazing too. And that was also a Will Packer production. So yeah, it was just like the producers are super lovely too. So just super happy to have been on that show and played with everybody.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you have any funny stories from on set that you could share with us?
Off the record,
sure I'm allowed to say this.
Well, I mean, off the record, I didn't really enjoy being on that set that much. So maybe we move on.
Oh man,
next.
That's a shame too, though, because man, I love, the stars in this movie. So
yeah, people were great.
And And that's all we're gonna leave it at.
That's all we need.
Right.
That's all we need. So now I want to get to this before we get to some other stuff. But now it's time to talk about The Great Pretender. And I've been waiting for this point to get to this part of the interview.
Yes,
and like I said early when we first started, this show is amazing. I wish that more people would watch it because it's such an amazing show. We had when we first interviewed Alan Lee, he said that this was one of the greatest anime of the times. He compared it to Cowboy Bebop, which is another anime that people they hold highly. So how was it? How was it working on The Great Pretender?
It was so much fun. I really love the Abby character. It was like a dream to be able to be a character who gets to play other characters. I feel like that's every actor's dream, just the dynamic of her. Even kind of when I first saw the audition sides, I was like, this chick is awesome, because it's that first intro scene where she is just acting like that wild character, and then gets to just be super dry as hell. I loved it, and it was so much fun, and I think it was also just really well written. So in that way, I just loved how every couple episodes I was able to put on another front for Abby.
Yeah, putting on another mask. And now, was it a title that kept you on your toes because you didn't really know what you were going to be getting out of her?
Yeah,
as a character.
It definitely did. It was a lot of okay, so what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next?
Yeah.
So in that way, it was really fun, and I also hope there's more to come because it was so fun, and I think the entire cast was so good, and just each of the character dynamics are so wild, and I love them.
Seemed like a fun project to just be a part of, and like you were saying, it is kind of it did end on a cliffhanger in a way. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I hope for more. It's so fun.
So I want to know, what was your favorite case from the show?
I think my favorite case. Okay, so the one that felt the most, the one that it feels most it's near to my heart. I would say is the one where the pilot case. I don't remember the number.
Yeah. Singapore.
Case 3. Was
that case 2?
Singapore.
It was 3.
That was the second case.
That
was the second case.
Oh, was the second?
Yeah.
Okay.
The third is the paintings. That was that one.
Okay. Yeah.
Gallery.
London. Yep.
And that one felt really special because it was we get to find out another side of Abby that we don't know. And so that one felt really, really special in terms of just acting and seeing another side of Abby and discovering another side of Abby. Just really good writing and storytelling.
Very fun.
Yeah. And then
go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it really reminds me of an updated Lupin the Third. Is what the show kind of. It's just more developed. It's not as centered around just the one character, really. As Lupin the Third is, it's you get a little bit of all the cast, and it's so fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So fun.
Yeah, I mean, just get to see what's happening, and just because the thing is, I think all the characters on that show are incredibly flawed to some degree, you know. So it's I mean, they're pulling off cons, they could easily be seen as not good people, but they're written in such a way where they all have so much humanity to them. So I feel that case was the one we got to see a little bit of Abby's humanity and why she is who she is.
Right.
So there's, I think that one was one that feels most important to me. I think the one that was the funnest to me was the first case in the first episode where we first meet Abby, and there's that wild pool scene, and she's pretending she's on drugs. So it was just so fun. So it was so fun.
That first episode was pretty amazing. It was so much going on. I think is what it was. It was you get the usage of multiple languages, and then you're is something wrong with my TV?
That's what everybody said.
It was just very very unique. Quirky. I'll say. Yes. Yeah, it was just what's going on right here. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really well done.
Yep. Yes, very well done.
And I think that goes to NYAV too, and their decisions, how they decided to go about that, keeping the different languages, and just the way they pulled things together that allowed for a lot of the authenticity to remain in a way that another creative person may not have done, but it worked. So props to them.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, no risk it, no biscuit. That's what they say.
Right.
No risk
I like
it, no
that.
biscuit.
I'm gonna use that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just like how with every case and with every episode, it's like it always left you wanting to come back for more. Because I remember I was watching case 1, and I want to say it was episode either 3 or 4, and it was the one where Laurent and Abby, they ended up getting shot by the police. And I remember like this dude D was calling me, and he was just like, pick up your phone. I was like, bro, it's just like I need to see what's
you gotta know more.
And then when you see that twist, and he's just like, bro, like why don't people talk about this anime? Like when I say like this anime is fire, and it's like it needs more attention. And it just goes back to what we were saying earlier about how the companies, they see when a bunch of people are watching it, and like you have to show up, because it's like the more people that watch it and show up, then it's just like, okay, let's go ahead and make another season of this. And like D said, like it ends on a cliffhanger, and I want to see more. I mean, even if they don't do another season, like I would love to see a movie that like officially like wrap everything up, because it's like you can't just leave us like that. You know what I'm saying?
You can't do that to us.
Yeah, don't.
Mm-hmm. Now,
that's so real.
Also, another thing that I thought was interesting, and something that the other actors have said, is that this was one of the first projects where it's like nobody was in studio when it came to recording this.
Yeah.
How was that experience for you?
Bless NYAV Post for walking me through setting up my home booth. It was a lot, and it was also kind of a scary time as an actor, because you have no other work.
Mm-hmm.
Voiceover is the one thing. So it was also learning how to be an actor in your closet along with a sound engineer at the same time. So, because you had to like design a booth that was recordable in it, and because NYAV was the first. Well, there was some other stuff too. So that wasn't the only thing I was recording at that time, but it was hard, and to this day I'm like, great. I love the idea of being able to walk from my bedroom into my closet and go to work, and record straight from home. But I think it is a little hard, and my closet doesn't have air conditioning, bless, I'm also so grateful that work was able to continue in that way. I just have so much appreciation for voiceover, and also it's like doing it safe, because there is a world where some studios could have been like, no, we want you to come in, but the fact that people were like, no, let's invest extra time and make sure that you can record from home safely, that was dope too.
Yeah, and you got extra time to work on the material, right? It wasn't as rushed and go. Like you got to develop the character, I guess, a little bit more than normal circumstances.
Yeah, but then in a way, it was still kind of go. Because I don't think animation or voiceover skipped a beat as soon as the pandemic happened. If anything, it ramped up. So if anything, it kind of went from like, okay, cool, to like, this is our only option for content. Everyone start pushing out animation, or dubbing or whatever it was.
Yeah, I definitely think that I could see it ramping up, because it's like, it's way more now that, so many voice actors and voice actresses are, doing home studios due to the pandemic. It's like, why wouldn't it ramp up? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to wait for people to come in and shoot and schedule to come in and shoot. It's easier, I think. So I could definitely see that happening. It does seem like more content has dropped since the pandemic.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like we're sort of in this place where even now, and a couple months ago, like the continuous conversation was like, if we were ever doing a production company, like it was like animation, like we want animation, because it was the one thing that's foolproof, where you can just email files. People do not have to be in the same room. So I'm curious to see how that impacts animation content to come from now on. Like, are people going to look back and be like, golden age of animation, or anime or whatever it is. So I think we still have yet to see its repercussions.
I'll say this as a mix engineer. The mix engineers do not like it though, because you got so many different recordings from so many different setups that you have to now make sound like it's from the same place. It is very challenging, very difficult, and those guys have been heroes.
Heroes. And as a guy in a hoodie, I'll agree with Trav.
And as a guy with a tie on, I agree with Trav too.
Yes, that's right. Here.
Hey, Trav, he makes us sound like $1 million when all these episodes come out.
Correct.
Wow.
Hey, Pinky's up to Trav for that.
Yeah, it's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. You can go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, like, it's literal magic what y'all do, and really like steering the ship. Don't get enough credit, do not get enough credit.
Guy behind the scenes usually doesn't.
Right. Hey, I know Trav's loving this. He getting all the love right now.
Hey, look, it's just
Trav,
like
man. That's Trav, right. I know we don't give you pats on the back that often, man. But sometimes we gotta show you love, man.
Yeah, it took 135 episodes, but it's here, baby.
Well, and look, sometimes Trav is the guy in the heist that's waving the gun in the air, telling us to hurry up. So let's not. Trav's that guy like we gotta go.
We gotta go.
We gotta go.
Trav is our Gamby in the Trav game. He has everything set for us. Now, something that I wanted to bring up is because when it comes to voice acting and acting, we really haven't had a lot of people come up here that do both. You have some people that do a little bit of acting, but voiceover is just their main thing. But with you, it's just like it's right down the middle. So I want to ask you, like, which one do you like doing more? Do you like acting on camera, or do you like being behind the mic?
Yeah, I think I didn't know I was going to go into voiceover, but I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I have found this thing that is literally a huge part of my life and brings me so much joy, and also teaches me a lot about acting. I feel like they very much go hand in hand. There's things about voiceover that's taught me about acting. I wouldn't been able to do voiceover if it wasn't for my acting background. So to me, they almost just feel like a different, like muscles, just like different moves, like different exercises. But I love them immensely, both. And I feel like I'm grateful to have both, because like if something in one is frustrating me or something like that, then it's like the other that I can like pull into, and even just like I'm also grateful that a lot of the voiceover stuff I've worked on, it hasn't just been comedic. Like there's been some really dramatic stuff I've worked on for voiceover, and in that it's been so illuminating on the acting end in general. So I just have such a deep love and appreciation for both.
Awesome. So what projects did you have coming up currently?
Yeah, so coming up is some exciting stuff. Some other animation shows coming out hopefully soon. And video game stuff that I'm excited about. Nice. And then on the acting end, there is so a short that I was just in got released on HBO Max just on Friday, called Coffee Shop Names. So definitely check that out. Again, just like we were talking about, numbers matter.
Right. We're gonna support you. We're gonna check it out.
Yes. And it was
we support everybody that come up here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, because we like Olive Garden, and when you're here, you're family. So we're gonna definitely check it out. We ride for our people up here.
I appreciate it.
Try and see me.
Oh, yes. And it's that slide right there. It's that photo. That's Coffee Shop Names. It's a short with Danny Pudi and Karan Soni. So that just released. And then I'm going to TIFF, the film festival, Toronto International Film Festival, next week for a premiere of a project I worked on called The Saeed Family Christmas Eve Game Night. Nice. Directed by Fazia Mirza, and then I wrote in it and star in it. It's going to have its world premiere soon. So doing that, and then I'm also on a CW show right now, filming a kind of a recurring role on that. So hopefully can share more news about that soon too.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's
Hell
awesome.
Yeah.
So
no, I do.
I wanted to ask the Saeed Family Christmas Eve Game Night. Like I saw the picture on Instagram, and it looks like it's going to be a really fun movie. So it's definitely something that I want to check out when it comes out. Can you say like when it's going to be coming out? I would assume around the holidays, around November, December.
Yeah, so that's actually it's a short film right now. We're working on developing it into a feature. Mm-hmm. So we don't know yet. But just feeling really it's like a queer Muslim rom-com. So just excited about what we can do with it, and I love the collaboration awesome. With the director. Fazia Mirza is amazing. And so it's sort of like this process where we're hitting TIFF first as our first premiere of it ever, and then we'll see how things grow and develop. So yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's definitely something that I wanted to check out. Trav, you can go ahead with your question now.
Yeah, no, I just, before D really dives into his wrap-up question, I know you just do a lot of outside stuff, like an advocate for so many things. For equality and stuff, and I saw the stuff with Shift that you do. I didn't know if you wanted to maybe talk about that stuff for a little bit and just kind of share with people what it is you're doing.
Yeah, thanks, Trav. For sure. So Shift is a gender equity and racial equity group that co-founded with two of my other co-founders, Natalie Bui and Valeen Mahara. We did it about 2017. We just wanted a way to talk about sexual harassment, to talk about racial equity, to talk about all those things, but through our own lens. So so we do what we call like justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion work. So JDEI. So we do trainings and consult and workshops to be able to talk to about from various topics. What's a microaggression to? What is racial capitalism to? What is consent culture? So really love the work that I'm able to do with them, and I feel like it's intertwined with what I'm trying to do on screen and through my voice, because as y'all have probably heard in our conversation, I care about proper representation and sort of what that has to do with the larger picture a lot. I feel like that's my mission in showing up in the ways I do. So it's through the work of Shift that sort of comes hand in hand with that. And because I truly believe the power of storytelling and media on larger systems of racism and sexism in this country. So it's all intertwined, y'all.
Yeah. Everybody has to do their part, and kudos to you again. They say you stand for something or you fall for anything. It's good to stand for something.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, and I support what you're doing. Last year when all of the stuff was going on with Black Lives Matter and stuff, I was out there in the streets protesting, and on social media, just being a person that a lot of people would come to and ask questions or need information, or just seeing what they could do to be better people or to learn more about Black culture and how they could help. And I'll say, man, like it was very, very draining. Like Trav and B, they can tell you, man, like there were times I wasn't getting any sleep because I was talking to so many people, and it's like you want to be there for people, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like everybody has questions, but at the same time, it's just like you have to know when to let people rest too, because it's just like last year, like I was mentally and emotionally drained like that entire summer. And more power to you for starting this and just using your platform to help show and educate people, because I know that like it's a tough struggle, you know what I'm saying? But it's positive when you're able to have a positive outcome on people, so that way that they can become better people. So pinky's up to you for doing that, and your
thank you. And like just a lot of love for what you just shared, because it is labor, it is emotional labor to be talking about all these things. And that's why we founded Shift, because we wanted to create this company that it could be like, okay, let's talk about it, and also how do we do it placing women of color at the forefront of these conversations, being the most impacted. So that's why, we work with clients and that sort of thing, but it's also like, put your money, so I'm gonna take it back. We put women of color at the forefront of these conversations, and also making space for companies, and whether it is companies or studios or, production companies, it's like, how do you start realizing that we have to embed it at every level, we have to embed justice, diversity, equity, inclusion at every angle and every level, so that it's not on the shoulders and on the burden of the people who are the most impacted by it. So, yeah, hear that.
Yeah, 100% agree with you on that. So,
round of applause right there.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. Now, my final question for you, and D, he can go into his final question is, when you're not acting, when, you're not doing stuff with Shift, like, what are some things that you're into? Like, what are some of your hobbies? I see that you're the karaoke master. So,
right. Love a good karaoke.
Connect 4.
That's my game.
You can't.
There are very few people who could beat me at Connect 4. Very few people who could beat me at Connect 4. Did you say you could beat?
This guy.
I really don't know.
This guy couldn't even beat my 8-year-old daughter.
Now, why are you see now? This is the thing.
Easy.
Of course, he's gonna sit here and lie. Now, his 8-year-old daughter, I'll say, she's 8 now, but every time I would go over to his house, I would always play Connect 4 with her, and I would always destroy her. But the thing is that over time, like, she started getting better, and she finally did beat me. And I feel like it comes with continuing to play the game, like learning. So it's like, yeah, she can beat me now. I'll give her credit where it's due, but it's just like Connect 4 is my game. I don't know. If
give her flowers, man.
Yeah, I'll give her flowers, and I'll give her birthday gifts too. But like, I don't know if you've ever been to Dave and Buster's, but they have like the giant Connect 4 there. Man, I love destroying guys in front of their girlfriends at Connect 4 there.
This guy. Don't worry about him.
This is real banks right here. Just to let you know.
It's nap time.
Hey, look, I carry my Nintendo 64 controller on me. I went to somebody's house on his birthday, gave him a 10-second head start, and I still beat him in Diddy Kong Race. So like, I'm just saying, man. Like,
that did happen.
He's there to beat him.
And it was on video.
Hey, as long as you stay off my air hockey table, you'll be just fine.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. When it comes to Connect 4, like, I get amped
We'll see. Very few people. I can count on my hands. Yeah.
If there's a virtual Connect 4, we have to play it.
Right, it's on.
And we have to film this. And it's going to be like the versus battles. It's like, who do you have your money?
Oh my god.
We got to get Steve Harvey to be the
oh god.
Who knows Steve Harvey? Whoops. Yeah, so I mean, spare time, it's honestly, when I have downtime, it's reading and scary movies. Like, I am obsessed with scary movies. Yeah. That's what it is. I don't really watch TV that much. It's literally just scary stuff.
I love
that. So I take it that you're ready for October.
I'm so ready for October. I cannot wait. I'm just like, as soon as October hits, I'm like, guess I gotta watch something scary every day. But my issue is that, like,
that's how you do it.
That is how 31 days.
Yeah, but like, my problem is, like, I can't. Another reason why I try not to watch TV that much is, again, because, like, if I start something, like, I'm not a go episode by episode person. Like, I have to watch everything at once, and unless I do, I cannot sleep. So I have to be very careful. Yeah. So looking forward to October.
Real quick, Banks. When you did your, what was it, 31
black people who survived in horror films.
Oh, it was Survived. Never mind.
That's so good.
I was gonna ask you if you had the cop from Monster Squad, but you said
no,
Survived.
he died.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. You answered my question by, you answered it.
But no, it's like, honestly, because I'm just trying to think. I'm like, man, I did 31 black people who survived, but I'm just like, I don't know if I could do it again. I mean, like, I feel like I would have to really dig hard to try and find, more movies.
You would probably have to start using international films as well. You could probably do it if you did that. There's so much that. Yeah.
A lot of the films that I'd use were films where it's like, people had seen or people they forgot, but it was definitely a challenge because I mean, like, how many films do you know of where it's just like somebody black survived? Like, usually they're the first person to get killed. Like, I can't remember what movie it was that Donald Glover was in. What is it, Lazarus or something like that? It was something, but it's like familiar. It's like they showed that he died in the trailer. I'm just like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, It's just like, I love Donald Glover, but I'm just like, they could at least waited for the movie to come out.
They were like, the audience knows he's gonna die. We'll just show it.
Yeah, just show it. Get him in the seats. Who is your favorite Harry Potter character?
Bellatrix.
Wow, what a pick.
Hands down.
Okay. Yeah.
Hands down.
Very fun. She's so sporadic. I bet that was a fun role for her to play.
Oh, for sure.
That's like a dream role.
Yeah, I mean,
Bellatrix and Harley Quinn. That's all I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at Banks just sitting there. Look at Banks just sitting there, not knowing what's going on.
But let's
I wasn't gonna say anything. Like,
he ain't got time to say.
You can't. Hey, I was gonna
What's
be like,
a Bellatrix?
I wish I knew what you were talking about.
What's a Bellatrix?
Hey, as soon as she said Harley Quinn, I said, okay, all right. He helped me out.
Yeah. Bottom of it, he was about to start sweating. Okay, second question. Growing up, did you have a horror movie or a TV show that really creeped you out or stuck with you?
The Others, for sure. The Others.
Okay.
That was when I fell in love with horror. It was literally when I fell in love with horror. I was like really young too. I don't know, like I probably shouldn't have watched that. So, well, I wasn't that
there's
young.
a lot of them we shouldn't have watched when we were
young. I remember Sixth Sense.
But it seemed like they were all over the place, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, just such good movies. I love. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna just say, especially back when like Sci-Fi Channel and
oh my god.
USA, wasn't it USA? Is it still USA? Channel 18, whatever it is. I don't watch a lot of TV myself. But it was so easy to get your hands on horror.
Yeah.
HBO used to have them all over. Yeah, so
Tales of the Crypt was huge too.
Yeah. Great show, great comics.
And I would also read as much horror stuff I could.
Too. Yeah, Creep Show is a good one if you want to look into comics. There's something called The Horror Show, which is an old set of horror comics.
Right, yeah.
I don't want to hold you up.
No, what's that called? I want to look into it.
Horror Show. I think that's what it's called. Horror Show.
I'll look into that.
And then the second question, did you have a favorite 80s or 90s movie coming up? I mean, you could just double it, use the same
80s or 90s
movie. You can give me one.
Let's
one
say
or the
The
other.
Sixth Sense. Let's say The Sixth Sense.
Okay.
You know?
Easy. Great movie.
It's a good one.
Shyamalan. Yep.
Love
he's
him.
good. But yeah, like, follow, subscribe. Banks, take us out of here, man.
Hey, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us today, yo. Like, this was really fun, and it was a pleasure having you up here.
Great answers, by the way. Great answers.
So before I let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
Certainly. My Instagram is my first name, Kausar, the person, on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you check out Coffee Shop Names on HBO. And yeah, I just want to say thank you. I had a lot of fun talking to y'all. So thank you for having me on and like just uplifting all the show and everything y'all do. It's important. So just sending a lot of love and appreciation for y'all.
Thank you. We appreciate that. We appreciate it.
Keep these guys online the best I can.
Hey, I'm steering the train here, man.
No, it's not. You don't steer a train, first off. We're in bad shape if you're steering the train.
It's a flying train, bro. So, D, let them know where they can find you at in social media land.
First off, these are for you. Take those with you. Only use them when you need to. You can find me at rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Trav?
That's right. And you can also find me on the Instagram as ZKRL. You can hit me up on the Twitter at TRAVIOSUK. And where are they going to find podcast #1 hero at, good sir?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching and listening to this episode. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you check out some more of our interviews, reviews, reaction videos. Check out our podcast where we drop new episodes every Tuesday. Like I said, keep that pinky up. Stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.